Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Senior Safety Advice Podcast. I'm your host, Esther Kane, and I want to wish every single one of you a very happy holiday season, be it Christmas or Kwanzaa or Hanukkah, whatever it is that you celebrate. I want to wish you a very happy holiday season and safe one as well. After all, that's what we're about, right? Senior safety. So today I want to talk to you about a specific gift item that many of us may think that is a good idea, but maybe it's not. So we're going to talk about tech gifts for your senior loved one. With the holidays just around the corner, just a few days away, or maybe even special occasion, anniversary, birthdays, those happen this time of year as well. You might be considering getting a tech gift for your senior loved one. And it's a very thoughtful gift because, after all, it can make life easier and safer for them. But how do you know if it's the right fit for them? So that's what we're going to talk about today. Now, nowadays, it seems like everyone is using tech gifts. It doesn't matter. Technology has come such a long way in the last few years in making life easier and more enjoyable for everyone, including older adults. But everything from staying connected to family and with family and friends to simplifying daily tasks. I know I use my Alexa device every day, all day, for everything from music to phone calls to reminders to calendar to weather, news, podcasting, and even a little bit of entertainment. But tech gifts can be both practical and meaningful. I mean, that's what you look at when you see a tech item or a tech device. But before you head out and buy that shiny new gadget, it's essential to think about the older person that you're giving it to. Does it align with their needs and does it align with their comfort level? I know my mom-in-law tried so hard to use Alexa and her computer, and well, she could never get hold of a tablet. She couldn't quite comprehend that. But as hard as she tried, she simply couldn't grasp using them um, easily. So we often, all of us, had to help her throughout that process. But it became really very frustrating for her, honestly. All right. So, what are the key questions that you want to consider, that you want to ask yourself before you go out and get that shiny new gadget that looks so cool? So you want to look at the kinds of things that the person you're giving it to does. Do they enjoy photography? Do they enjoy music? Do they enjoy reading? Do they enjoy listening to podcasts or news radio stations? Did you know that Alexa has an old time radio station skill, which I think is a lot of fun? And there are some new radio stations, some new podcasts that actually sound like old radio shows, mysteries and thrillers, stories being told like that by actors just voicing the story. So I think that can be a lot of fun. But there's all kinds of wonderful things that you can also get. You know, um, Music from the '60s, stories. YouTube channels, especially on an Amazon Echo show. There's so many wonderful little things. But what do they enjoy doing? What does your senior loved one enjoy doing? If they enjoy reading, and maybe they're having a hard time with the size of the font on these books, I know I do sometimes, maybe a Kindle Paperwhite would be a good option for them because then they can read the book, but they can increase the size of the font and it'd be much easier for them. Plus, it's an easy way to carry around a ton of books with you if they really enjoy reading. Also, music, podcasts, portable Bluetooth speaker is a wonderful thing as well. Photography, there's so many wonderful digital cameras nowadays that you can do great things with. If they enjoy all of that, then that may be an option that you can work with them. But what challenges do they face? For seniors with mobility issues, maybe something like a robot vacuum. I know I love my robot vacuum. Or maybe a voice activated smart assistant that can be incredibly helpful, like an Alexa device or Google Home. Or even like any of the thermostats nowadays that you can set so that when it gets to a certain temperature, the air conditioner comes on, or when it gets to a certain or if it gets too cold, then the heat comes on. So then they never have to play with it, adjust it, but they can, if they need to, modify it, and it's a lot easier to use once you understand how to use it. And also, how tech savvy are they? Anything with new technology, look for devices that are simple, user friendly, like senior friendly smartphones, digital photo frames that can be preloaded with family, pictures. Anything that is easy for them to use, they can use with their voice, as long as they don't have too much trouble remembering what to say. The problem with many of the Alexa devices for older adults is that they tend to forget to say the word Alexa. And I'm talking about, people in their late 80s, 90s, or 100 plus. Certainly 60s, 70s, and some 80s don't have any trouble with remembering that word Alexa. Then there's also, yeah, this is the digital photo frames, which I think are such a wonderful gift for so many people, because family members can just load their photos into the cloud, and it shows up on this frame, which is a wonderful way to keep in touch. And it's much nicer than having to email and text or put photos on Facebook. Of course, smart apps, smartphones like this are an excellent gift as long as they're an easy to use. Jitterbug is extremely easy, but a lot of smartphones, they come with a ton of different abilities, and skills and apps. But if you just go through one app at a time, and start using that one app at a time, then it becomes much easier, and it's not as scary as being overwhelmed with everything. And practical gifts like medication reminders, health monitors, or even smart locks can enhance safety and independence. But how frustrated are they? If it's something that they look at and they don't know what to do with it, if it causes more frustration than joy, then guess what? That gift is going to end up in the closet, or they may even re-gift it. Well, they probably won't regift it, but yeah. So, smart wearables these days, there are so many different kinds of wearables. They have fall detection device. I know Apple Watch has fall detection, GPS, all kinds of wonderful features that you can get on wearables. In I can't remember the name of the necklace. Um, Invisaware. The Invisaware is this wonderful necklace that is a has GPS capabilities. I think if you pay for it, the GPS capabilities, but check it out, Invisaware, and it's much nicer looking than wearing them. It's not a medical alert device, but you can click it and you can get some help if you need it. So it's very good if you fall or anything like that. So again, you don't want to get too frustrated, but let's talk about I'm going to go back to this one. Let's talk about some of the wonderful gifts that you can give to people. Like I said, a digital photo frame is a wonderful gift that you can give. These allow your loved ones really to enjoy, rotating family pictures. Smart gifts like Amazon Echo or Google Home I personally like the Echo Show because it's a screen, so you can do video phone calls with others. Just a regular Alexa device, you can do phone calls, but it's nice to be able to do the video phone call with others, play music. It does everything Alexa does. It just happens to have that video. You can watch the news on there, YouTube videos, movies, anything that is connected to your Amazon account. Senior-friendly smartphones like this one, the Jitterbug Smart 3 is very good for people who have a very hard time with smartphones, but otherwise, like I said, keep it simple, one app at a time. And then, of course, smart gadgets like, wearables. But again, not every senior is going to appreciate a tech gift, and that's okay. If your loved one finds technology frustrating or overwhelming, it just might not be the right fit for them, no matter how cool that gift is, no matter how much you think it can make their life easier or safer. If they're not going to use it, it's not going to do them any good. I can't tell you how many patients I would work with as an occupational therapist where we would provide them with a grabber or a walker or tools to help them make life easier. And then when we would do the home visit, we would notice those things were not being used. So it didn't matter that they had the tools to help themselves to make life easier and safer for them. They weren't going to use it. Those tools weren't going to be helpful. If anything, they were just going to end up being in the way. So in those cases, consider alternatives like books, puzzles, other non-tech items that you would normally give that would still be kind of cool. But still, an Apple Watch or some kind of a wearable that can help to keep them safe is not a bad idea to help introduce them slowly, hopefully, into it. Anyway, I think it's important. But again, check to make sure that they're not going to throw the item at you or stuff it in a box somewhere. So if you do decide to get a tech gift, here are some tips to make it successful. One, set it up beforehand. Don't just give it to them and expect them to run to the Apple store or to find somebody to help them set it up. Do it beforehand. Do a lot of it beforehand. And then if you want to work with them on a few things like adding an app or anything like that, then you can do that with them as long as it's not too overwhelming. For instance, if you're going to give them a digital frame, preload it with images so that all they have to do is set it up, plug it in, and then they've got it. They know that it's working. If you're going to give them a smartphone, set it up with their provider, put in a few apps that you think they may use, show them how to use it, show them how to use the camera and the phone, and those are the two main things that are the most important for most adults. You want to provide clear instructions, make it simple, step by step, walk them through it, expect to do it a few times, several days, several weeks maybe. My mom-in-law would write every step down, every single step when we would instruct her. But when she went back to those steps, they didn't make any sense to her. So it's not the matter of writing it, it's the matter of practicing it and using it on a regular basis. That's why it's so important to give them a tech gift that is something they can incorporate into their daily life. If they don't normally read, then it doesn't matter to give them a Kindle or anything that may help them to read better if they don't normally do that on a regular basis. And be patient and be available because they are going to call you quite a bit. I know that my mom-in-law called me almost every day for the last few years of her life with that computer. And I ended up actually installing a program on her computer so that I could, manipulate it and do what needed to get done without having to ask her to reset the computer. At the end of the day, the very best gifts come, of course, from understanding what they need and what they enjoy doing. And if they enjoy being with you, of course, then you want to give them the gift of yourself, time with them. And a lot of times with a tech product, you are giving a lot of your time because there's training and there's work. And if it's a communication device, then you're going to have FaceTime, visuals with them, communicating with them, probably more than you've done, recently in the past. So whether it's a tech related product or whether it's just a brick and mortar kind of product, then it's something that if it's something that they need, if it's something that they can use to make life easier and safer, then that's all that anyone really wants. And of course, a little bit of yourself as well. Those are sometimes the very best gifts. All right, so thank you so much for tuning in. I do appreciate it. I hope you found the video helpful. I'm curious to know what tech items you have given that have been appreciated. I'm always looking for new ideas, for new gadgets out there. I just saw a new um, shower bench that looks really cool, so much better than some of the older ones that I remember, the big blocky ones. So there's so many wonderful new gadgets and tools coming out. I'll be writing an article about that, but keep me informed and let me know what you think, what tech gadgets you enjoy, your senior loved ones enjoy. And I really do hope you all have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season. And I will see you next year. Take care. Bye.